It's early Sunday morning. I mean early, I don't know what time, 7 a.m. I wanted to get this video out because I promised a couple of guys that asked me questions about it. I'm revisiting a subject. Okay, it's about retipping teeth. Some guys just don't know about it, and some guys just don't know where to get new teeth. New teeth, I'll put a link in this description with where you can get them. If you run a tooth like these are, the round ones called green teeth, you can buy them straight new from the manufacturer, or there's a couple other places that sell, let's say copies, all right? One's American Cutting Edge. I've had those before. I had some problems with them, but a lot of guys run them and have no problems with them. That's just me. My only problem I had with them really was a couple of things. Was the little washer that goes over here, a spacer, washer, whatever you want to call it, were very tight tolerance and hard, tight fitting. That's my major concern I had with them, all right? And I had some carbide tip problems coming off, but they replaced them. If you complain, they sent you another one. And the other one is you buy them straight from Green Teeth Manufacturing. And there's been a couple of guys say, no, you can't, but yes, you can. You just call Green Teeth, and I'll put a link to their website. And there's a very nice man there named Chris Peters. And if you want to upgrade a setup on your machine, he will help you out and tell you what they have and what they offer to upgrade the cutting system using their teeth, okay? And even if you have a hand swing one, they've got systems to upgrade that from the old style that look like a long shaft with like a claw type thing. They can upgrade you from that too. I don't know if they do every model, because I'm not into that. I run certain kinds of machinery, so I can tell you what I know. But Chris Peters is the expert about modifying, upgrading your wheel to their cutter system. If you do go to their system, there's 3 different teeth, but really there's 4, but teeth-wise, there's 3, all right? I've told you guys over and over again. There's the reds. If you live in an area that's mostly sandy soil, or if you're doing something like pines and you're not hitting any rocks, you can go with reds. They're sharper. They have a sharper edge on them. All right. Or if you live, their new ones are called wear sharps, and I'll tell you how you can tell. I got some broken ones here, but all right. Look at this. You see that? It looks like it's got a pronounced edge circling around it within the cutter edge. That's a wear sharp, okay? That's their newest system. They're supposed to keep themselves an edge longer, but if you're in a rocky area, they will chip away and explode. That's just my experience, okay? This is an old, original green teeth. You notice that it's basically a solid piece of carbide with a slight dish in it, right? This is real dull. This is from an old machine I had. All right, so you have the reds, very sharp, sandy soil, no rocks in it. Then you have the newer system is the wear sharps, which comes out on new machines. And then you have their old tooth, which if you're going in a rocky environment, I suggest you go to the old tooth, which is the original green teeth, right? Then you have different numbers on it, so let me explain to you. They're called series, all right? There's the, let's say 700s, then there's the 900s. 900s are typically on bandits from, let's say 60 horsepower and below. Then you have the 1100s that are on big boy machines, okay? Well, I mean big boy, you're talking about the older 100 horsepower, 75 horsepower, 80 horsepower, 90 horsepower, okay? So that's what they use the 1100s. And you need to know this. You cannot, let me stop for a second, show you something. All right, if you got a veneer machine, all right, 252 or whatever, or even bigger machine, they run this style tooth. Look at the tooth, it's double-sided. You unscrew this nut and you spin it around and you got another edge. These are called yellow jackets, all right? I've been around a long, long time, and I was one of the first guys around to have this system, okay? I used it for a while, but I like green's better. But this is a question that guys always ask, and I see it being posted on the forums and stuff. It's not that you're stupid. Any question, if you don't know the answer, any question is a smart question, all right? And what guys should be doing instead of tearing other guys a new rear end over asking a question is helping others out, okay? You're not born knowing this stuff. There was no one around to teach me. Hell, the dealerships didn't even know the answers to half the stuff that I knew, all right? So this is off of a mirror. This is a green tooth. Do you see the difference? All right, very tall, all right? So that's why you're able to take certain teeth and modify 252 by putting less teeth on it and stuff like that. Also, you cannot take a green tooth and put it on a pocket from a Vermeer yellow jack system. It just does. Vice versa doesn't happen, all right? If you want to go to the green teeth on a Vermeer, you have to change the pocket and the tooth, all right? You can't just buy teeth and bolt them on here. It ain't happening, all right? Or vice versa. It ain't happening. All right, so we're done with that, all right, on the yellow jackets and that. Now, we're gonna go back, and I told you about there's basically 4 green teeth. All right, you need to know something. On a green tooth, they got little flat cuts on them, right? You see them? That's where it goes into the pocket and locks. And then you unscrew the nut, drop it down, turn it till it locks up into there, right? Normally they're 3-sided, but green teeth also have a 2-sided, because some guys say they weren't able to rotate and get a full 360 degree out of a tooth. So they made it where they're 2-sided. They'll turn, all right? So when you order something, talk to Chris Peters, and he'll, if you don't say anything, he'll probably just send you the 3-sided ones. If you say something, he'll send you the 2-sided ones. That's up to you, all right? Now remember, if you're in a rocky environment, I'd ask for the original green teeth, all right? And if you're in a sandy environment, you can go with reds. The newer machines come out with wear sharps. They're great teeth, but I just have a preference. They shatter when you hit something really hard. If you don't hit something really hard, there's different types of rocks in there too. Sandstone, piece of cake. So concrete, it's just sand and porcelain and stuff like that. So they survive. But when you hit something, a granite type rock or a rock or a piece of pipe, they will, carbide will shatter. All right, so you need to know that. Now, on my machines, I have the green teeth on my old machine. On all my newer machines, I have the wheel called the New River. And this is originally a design from Sandvik, all right? So it's been modified, and originally the older Bandit machines that came out with that wheel, they'll have a different bolt pattern on here, all right? It'll just look like a regular nut, well, 4-sided, let's just say. Bandit asked New River to proprietize for them so that you'd have to buy from the dealer to where it has multiple sides. It has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided bolt. Looks like a nut on there, see? All right, so that way you know. Now, you can buy them from New River besides your dealer. Your dealer marks up at least 30%. New River at times will sell you the teeth, or I'll put down in the description another place I get them from called grindatooth.com. Guy by the name of Dave Nation. He sells green teeth also. I don't know. I'm going to go into something else about it. They're aftermarket. I know they work. I know they're great. I love the teeth I get from him, from Cutter Tooth. Now, Green Teeth Manufacturing, that'll be in the link. All they sell is green teeth, all right? They don't sell all the brand stuff or anything. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about, and which the video is really about, is retipping, all right? That means when your teeth get too dull to sharpen, or you don't want to sharpen them, they're dull, right? You send them out to a place, which is a specialty type of machine shop. They don't use a torch. They use what's called induction heating. It's done by actually electricity going around, heating up the steel so hot that it takes the carbide tip off. All right, you guys need to know something too. This part here is steel, all right, which will grind with a regular grinder. This darker gray stuff is carbide. It will not grind on a regular grinder. It'll laugh at you, all right? So to sharpen them, you need either a green wheel with silicon carbide or a diamond wheel. And you gotta wear a respirator, eye protection, and I do it outside because it's really caustic and it's cancer causing, all right? I did that in another video. I'm just letting you guys know. So sometimes it's better when they get worn, you get a batch together, you send them out to Retipper. There's at least 5 Retippers in the United States if you look around. Some of them are a little harder to find than others, and other guys will chime in. I'll post this up on the internet. Other guys will chime in with different guys that retip. Now, I'm telling you just the people I go with, all right? And I've since I use them a lot, and I asked them, would they give us a discount over what's on the internet, all right? So if you mention my YouTube channel, Mustang Rebuilder, they will give you 5% off on your order, all right? Some of you guys are gonna say, well, what the hell is 5%? Well, it basically almost covers the price for you to ship these teeth to them. To come back to you, if orders over $150, they pay for the shipping, all right? That's pretty damn good, all right? So, let's try and look up the prices for you on the retipping, but instead of me, there's so many different teeth out there. You go in them, they got photographs with prices. They also rebuild what's called Rayco teeth. And the old Vermeer style, Vermeer Pros or whatever, I had them where you loosen the pocket, slide the tooth in. Technology's come a long way. But if you have the Rayco super teeth, they rebuild them and they sell new ones, I think. So, I don't know what's entailed in that process. I don't run Rayco teeth, but for you guys with Raycos, look them up too. They retip them and they said rebuild them. So they sell the bolts for different systems also. The nuts for the green teeth, they sell them. So they're actually a machine shop that specializes in carbide teeth for all types of machinery. They're super, super nice people. The lady that runs the office there, she might be the owner's wife, I don't know. But she's the one that said if you mention me, Mustang Rebuilder off of YouTube, and you could go on there, there's an email slot on their webpage, so you'll have a link to their webpage. You can write them whatever's gonna be going. I always tell them, hey, I'm just mailed an order. Inside the order, when you pack up your stuff, I'm just telling you this, all right, from past experience from other retippers through the years, put a card or write on a piece of paper or whatever, put it in there with your phone number, your name, and yada yada, your address, everything. Just in case the shipping label gets wore out from whoever you shipped it with and blurry or whatever, they have a backup, right? Plus you send them an email real quick, hey, I'm gonna be sending you 50 teeth, 20 teeth, whatever it is that you're gonna send them, 10 teeth. This is my name, blah, 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 blah. And they know that it's being shipped off and coming to them. And the lady in the office will call you back, give you the price, and you can go from there. Or if you're unsure if they tip your tooth, I'm sure you could probably call them, the phone number, you'll be on the website, and take a picture of it, send it to them. They'll tell you, yeah, we do that. They do the old Sandvik teeth. I mean, they do a lot of teeth that I've actually never seen because they're from different types of industrial machinery and stuff like that too. Rock grinders, stuff like that. So there you go. And another thing you need to know about is how honest the people are. Some of the aftermarket teeth, and I said it a few minutes ago, I think, and it's so early in the morning, cannot be retipped by them because there's a dimple between this carbide and the steel. Some of the non-green teeth have a dimple in there, which when they go to put their carbide on, it won't sit flush and flat, so they won't retip them. But if you send them and they happen to be those type, they don't charge you. They'll tell you, hey, 6 of them could be retipped These other ones can't because they're aftermarket or something like that. All right. So they're very honest people. I even have with me. They said, hey, 10 of the teeth that you sent, we cannot retip because they won't comply to where our carbide is. And they sent me back the teeth. They didn't even have to say I had to throw them away. But they sent them back to me. But also, you need to know something, like especially with greens. If this steel that the carbide sits on is compromised. And what I say by compromised, look at this one. See, it's shattered, but let me see if I can get you. You see how it tore off part of the steel there, right? Because I hit a pipe. That side too. This is not a tooth that you send in to be retipped. This is a tooth you say, see you later, all right? So whatever you're gonna send them, make sure that the steel here, this one is compromised too. You see that? So this is a no-gooder. But this one here also. So all the ones I picked up this morning are all crap to show you. But if it's still the steel around this, underneath that carbide is still round, untouched or whatever, yes, send it in to be retipped. If the steel part is compromised, ripped, wore off or whatever, no, because the new carbides, it's only going to be going on maybe 3/4 of the steel, and it has a part that will fatigue, right? Same goes for these teeth, all right? And this is how the tooth comes back to you. It's sandblasted, all right? And what you see here, it's a brazing compound. The part that looks like brass, it is, basically. But that's what adheres, this carbide, to it. It has a flux. Flux is I'm going to tell you, it's used to clean off this between the two metals, and then the metal gets put on. The carbide gets put on, excuse me. Anyway, enough with that. So in this video, I'll write down and go in the description. I'll list where you can get the new teeth. I'll list Witt & Sons, excuse me. I keep always putting S to stuff. I'll put their website and their phone number for you. All right, so try to make stuff easy. This is all stuff that I worked real hard to find. And I used to have another guy, a real good guy, maybe a stump cutter edge, in Florida to retip my stuff. So somebody might be closer to you if you look up. These people are located out of Michigan. I sent them my teeth. Within 1 week, they were back to me. I think it was actually faster. I don't know how, but they got back to me. And another guy, green teeth, they send their stuff out very fast. Chris Peters is a wonderful man. He talk on the phone. And the other place I recommended was Grinder Tooth. You go to their website. I'll put a link to their website. You go in there and see if they have what you use. And I swear, I'll make an order on it, send it on the internet, and it's almost like I walk outside the next day. It's sitting there at the end of the day. It's sitting there. It comes by FedEx, so probably 2 days time max. I mean, he even sends you back a little message afterwards. Hey, it's early enough. I got them shipped off to you. And the guy's name is Dave Nation. I've never met him. Wonderful guy, though. I got to give a shout out to him. And Chris Peters from Green Teeth and Witt & Sons, I have to give them a shout out too. I only recommend real good people. So remember, the retipping place, Witt & Sons, there'll be a link for them. You get 5% off if you mention me, Mustang Rebuilder. I don't get anything, all right? Remember that. Before someone jumps on me or whatever, I get the same thing you do, 5% off, all right? And some of you are going to say, well, 5% is crap. What the hell do I care? 5% helps cover the cost of shipping them to the teeth to them, all right? So just a little bit of something from me, from them to me, back to you. How's that? Does that sound right? All right. Any other time I can work out a deal with some tools or something like that, I will pass it on to you. All right. That's what I'm trying to do now, is trying to work out some stuff with some companies that you can benefit also from. And you know me, I always try to find the source of where the filter comes from, or where this comes from. I've got a source for some banded parts. I'll put and you can get them on the internet. And I'm going to slowly start composing in this, making the list this year for you. And I'll make a video, and it'll be in the description. And I'm actually, you know what, just like the flyer thing that I send out, I will try to make a PDF thing to where I can email it to you, parts and numbers and stuff like that. I'm just trying. All right, a lot of things are protected. Companies protect their parts. They get them from a regular supplier, but they change the part number, and it's like a CIA mission to try to diagnose what the part is. But through my years of doing stuff and being kind to some people, they kind of slip up and say, well, if I was you, I might look over there. And, it helps. I get an email, somebody says, what you really want is part number, da, 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 da. Like on the Bandits, I won't lie to you, there've been some problems with the hydraulic control valves, not the valves themselves, the box. The O-rings, people getting leaks on them all. Don't send your machine to a dealer for a leak with an O-ring. I know some of you guys are just like, well, I don't know, it's under warranty. It's less than a 10-cent part, and I've changed them out in the field. And I went to an O-ring supplier, and I said, listen, I don't want some cheap China, excuse me if you're Chinese, but I don't want some cheap shizzle. I want the best O-ring you can get me. And they gave me like a bag with 10 of them, and it actually cost me maybe $4. So I'm out in the field, and I have on my other, not Melvin Blue 1 or 2, all right, in that box, which I changed. And then my other one, before that, Big Booty Judy's, oh yeah, I've done that for years. But the other one I forgot the name I call it. But she probably blew, that was blowing O-rings. At least every 2-3 weeks, I'd have a drip here, drip there, drip there. Some guys will run them with drips, but then I had some of those shooting. And I was like, hell no, I was pissed. Called Bandit, and I got upset, and I just kept talking to him about it. I said, just give me the spec or give me an O-ring or whatever. Well, we don't know what O-rings they're running in there as far as, because that box is not made by Bandit, all right? It's actually all the O-rings in there. I know I'm getting off the subject of teeth, but if you have a Bandit, listen to me. All the O-rings in there are metric, all right? So some guys are trying to put standards back in there. They're metric, all right? So anyway. I solved the problem with my machines. I don't have any, pissing hydraulic fluid anymore. But I say that, but, I'm sure another one will leak. It's just part of being a stump grinder or running any piece of machinery that has hydraulics in it. Leaks happen, all right? Just good quality O-rings really make a difference. God bless you. It's Sunday. I'm going to go up there to the office, and I'm going to post this video. It's 18 minutes long, and I'm really sorry, but hopefully you had a lesson, and I gave you some places to order some stuff. I'll put it all in the description, okay? If you're looking at it on a phone, descriptions it's kind of hard to find a description, so I'll try to write it in the video, at least where Wit and Son is, and their website thing while the video is going on. And wish me luck. I'm going to go to a brunch with my wife, and we're going to go see some movie. I don't know what it is she picked this weekend, but we'll go to the movies. See you next week.